Oh, and hello, welcome back to Lowink. I am Fufu, joined by the one and only Dark, bringing you Swiss Round 5 very, very soon. Say hi, Dark.
Hello. I briefly thought about just leaving it in silence just to mess with you, but I was like, no, let me. we were so.
Why did you, bro? Why'd you back out?
Cause I gotta make an impression too. You're not the only one here. That I gotta do things too. Yeah.
Come on, get this guy out of the VC.
No, I think I'm fine here, especially with what we have going up first here.
Yeah, you want to introduce our teams for us?
Okay, I was letting you do it, but all right, whatever. As we have here for our 5th round, Star Guardians of Chaos versus Misguided Knights. I am familiar with these names as well as some of these players and whatnot. I couldn't tell you what exactly they play, but I'm starting to get to that point where I'm actually starting to remember people, and that's a plus for me.
It's always fun when you recognize a team and you're like, I know that guy. I know that guy. Or thumbs, I don't know. Or you, just you. I know you. But, so if you know these players, then I'm going to assume it's going to be a good set.
I mean, it's always a good set, really. Whenever I'm here, anyways, you know, I gotta.
Well, it's because I'm here, actually. Don't get ahead of yourself now.
Oh,
thank you very much.
What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Dude, yeah, let's get this guy out of here.
Hey, me? I'm trying to do my job here.
So we're gonna bury him with the ruins here at Amami Ruins Splat Zones. I like this map a lot. Do I actually? Do I like this map a lot? I don't know. It's very interesting, and I think both of the. Yeah, because you're a loser. Anyways, I think both of these teams are, if they're able to realize that the mid is controlled by the actual middle thing in the middle, I love you, Dark, then I think that's a team that's going to have profit. Also, there is a heavy, just heavy, not even an edit, just a heavy on the side of Misguided Knights.
Yeah, it's funny. The last time I've seen a heavy splat link, I had to pull myself back so many times from continuing on with heavy edit. Just forgetting that it's actually just heavy this time around, but I'm very curious to see exactly what the actual plan is for this heavy splat link. It's not a weapon we see a lot of at all, really. Star Guardians of Chaos does have a good solid hold in mid here, gets the first 2 points on the board for them. Cap take using it to try and slow down the Misguided Knights as they're on their incoming here, but it is a 1-for-1 trade here between these two teams.
Yeah, look for one in DSC. That crab from Misguided Knights is finally active, but you know, when you have a dread under you, threatening you very decent thing, it's a little bit hard, but Paper being forced to jump out, I don't know how you live that. Setting themselves back to spawn. Booyah Bomb coming up from not Misguided Knights, that's Star Guardians of Chaos, but Misguided Knights seems to be able to ignore that and start to neutralize and capitalize on both zones, getting some points on the board for themselves.
Yeah, good flip here from Misguided Knights to give those penalty points to Star Guardians of Chaos and get a few points of their own here in the process. Now they're looking to try and see exactly how they want to play out this next portion of this team fight, to try and flush them out, try and hold the ground as best they can. The Booyah Bomb was used to try and stall out the zone here to prevent them from running away with too many points here. And it looks like Star Guardians of Chaos are doing whatever they can to try and flip the zones into their favor here, but there's so many scrambling players, so many people across the map wide. It's just hard to keep track of who is exactly where. Misguided Knights is still on top of things though, and they're looking to steal the lead.
Yeah, and the lead has been stolen indeed. We have a crab here in the center, trying to make a little bit of thing, not quite able to find as much as they had hoped. There's a lot of specials coming out on the field, but I feel like we're playing a little bit of real around the road. You know, you had a Booyah Bomb, you had a crab, you had a hammer. What else could we have? But Misguided Knights still remains in control of the zone, continuing to get points on the board, not really letting up. Star Guardians of Chaos is starting to bring out resources of their own, and I want you to notice how they're positioned. Just everyone is taking every corner that they can.
Yeah, it's a multi-angled approach here from Star Guardians of Chaos, but it doesn't really pan out too well as Misguided Knights just managed to bunker down and keep them away from things. And now the restart going into bringing all the aggressive here to try and fully flush Star Guardians of Chaos out. Misguided Knights knows the win condition here. There's only 10 ticks remaining, and with their special, they're able to keep them out from the mid here so they can ride and cruise this way to victory without any contest. But Star Guardians of Chaos does not want to let it go without any fight. They're looking to try and play both angles as best they can, keeping it alive for a little bit longer, buy some extra time, but it was not, unfortunately, enough.
Not enough indeed. Misguided Knights still remaining in control enough to see it all the way through. They did really good, even when Star Guardian of Chaos were in really good positions. There's a point where I genuinely thought they were going to retake just because of how well they were positioned, but it looks like they were able to just find the hole, see it through, and continue to hold the zone, take it home.
Yeah, I really like what Misguided Knights did there. Once they got set up, they had proper special unit rotation to really keep Star Guardians of Chaos in check. There was a few moments where Star Guardians of Chaos managed to break through and make things a little bit shaky there, but Misguided Knights really held their ground and really kept things just under control from once they had control of that mid. And it really was a hard thing to see how Star Guardians of Chaos, they don't really have a good answer to keep to flush Star Guardians or to flush Misguided Knights out properly there. And I think that's something that's going to be important here, especially going into tower control, Hagglefish Market. The big area to really keep in mind that you want to try and flush people out of is those tents like overlooking the zone.
That too. You know, that's where the anchor like to position the tents. But even then, Hagglefish. We're not on zones. We're on tower control. About. Yeah. I think it's also going to be seeing the change of pace of how they look. Listen. I'm here. I promise.
What?
Listen. Tower control sets the pace for you. Yeah, open your ears, bro. Open more. Tower control sets the pace for you. So while they chose their own pacing, you know, it's pretty consistent on splat zones. Now you're gonna be like, oh yeah, there's a moving objective. It should be fine. They should be fine, right? No biggie. No snowballs, right? Right? Totally, right.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing you always gotta look out for this map mode in specific. It's just they can really spiral out of control so fast. Like, how many times you pass that second checkpoint, that's when things really start falling apart for most teams or most players, you know? And that's not to say like, oh, that's where you're really gonna be like, oh, if you hold the hold it there, you're bad at the game. No, it's just the nature of the game, you know, because usually getting that second checkpoint means you have a clear corner there, being able to get to that third checkpoint without any issue and being able to just clean it up from there. So really, it's up to how well these teams are going to be holding those ramps before that second checkpoint here. And I am intrigued by specifically the Inkling tri-trigger here on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. Not a weapon you see at all, really.
I don't know how I feel about the choice just because of how tight it gets towards the later parts of the game, but I'm going to trust the process for now and see how it goes. But Star Guardians of Chaos are going to be the first team to lose a player on their side, and Misguided Knights, you know, taking the initiative and taking the tower really, really early on and just popping the snowball through the head and getting a really nice pick as well. This is an insane start of the game here, especially for Misguided Knights, who's running off the momentum of last game, and they are not showing any signs of stopping.
Yeah, no cap. Boy, did a shorting well job of zoning and applying pressure, and at least they managed to get that first checkpoint out of the way before 3 going down from Misguided Knights. Now Star Guardians of Chaos looking to try and fish for that last player standing. Does get the hook there, and now with a delayed wipeout on their side, Star Guardians of Chaos looking to try and open up this mid here so they can get this first checkpoint without any issues. I do believe that, unfortunately, those super chumps were a bit wasted there, not being able to apply much pressure to anyone there, but doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day, though, with the Booyah Bomb and the Crab Stick and the Killer Whale. They're able to clear that first checkpoint with ease.
You know, yeah, beautiful lead swap there for Star Guardians of Chaos, who is really giving Misguided Knights a taste of their own medicine, and they are reaching almost a point of no return if Misguided Knights is not careful with their resources now. But those chumps are coming out much better placed this time around, able to find one on each team, and this tower continue to move forward. It's getting a little too close to the final checkpoint, Dark, and it might just clear it if they're lucky. I'm not even lucky anymore. They're just that goated. I think this might be a knockout.
Yeah, and see, this is what I was talking about. They had that corner cleared as they were passing that second checkpoint, and that's when things really start to unravel. You know, past that second checkpoint, you have the clear area to get that third checkpoint with ease, and once you clear that third checkpoint, there's only a handful of points left remaining, so you clear the third checkpoint, you're done with the game as is. It's just, once again, that something like that really isn't a like you can't say Misguided Knights was bad for how they played it out. No, that's just how that game is, and that's just how that map is played there. It's like there really isn't much you can do unless you actually like play for your spells off with that corner.
It's just also playing your fights. Like, it's because it's so tight. It's just like, if you take one fight wrong, it could spell the end of the game for your entire team. Like, everyone has to make sure they are where they need to be at all times on that defense, because the game can end really just that fast. And things are gonna get a little chaotic because we're gonna be on Crab Lab Rainmaker. I haven't seen this map mode specifically in a fat second. I'm kind of excited. It is pretty open for what it is. I like playing on this map personally, just to know how open it is, and you can just smack people in the grates. You be like, ooh, you want to walk on grates? No, you don't. You can go back to the spawn point. You don't need to be here.
Yeah, no, this map I also haven't seen that much. In all honesty, Rainmaker here is a bit awkward because you do have the two different routes, right? It's actually kind of like Undertow in that way, where you have the left route and the right route. The left route, I think anyways, is a lot more used in the right route, simply because the right route is like over grades and a lot more dangerous, but it does score faster points. So it's just a matter of like, do you want to try and do the gambit with the right route, or do you want to try and stay with the consistency of the left route, being able to jump from there? And it's just each route has both their pros and cons though, because on the other hand though, the left route does go from low ground to high ground if you're trying to push past that, which can be a bit hard to do.
Yeah, it's like most people opt to choose the right route just because it's like, okay, there's a little more space, you know, yada yada yada. But yeah, last ditch efforts usually are on that left side, and I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Both of these teams definitely have the potential to run with a lot of momentum, and I think Star Guardians are looking pretty good after last match, and they can continue that momentum that we saw, especially the clap back after Misguided Knight's original push. I'm pretty excited to see how this is gonna go, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I am also very excited. As we see, there really isn't that many major changes here. I do believe E is bringing out the V-Dualies this time around, which I don't think was in the previous games, but I may be wrong on that end. A good opener from Star Guardians of Chaos though, using the Crab Tank to slow down Misguided Knights, zone them out, convert 3 off of that, and potentially able to get this checkpoint right out the gate. Crab Tank being used in Misguided Knights though does shut that down.
Yeah, the first, checkpoint for Star Guardians of Chaos here, but that Booyah Bomb is getting shattered immediately. Actually still going off, surprisingly. But Misguided Knight still continues to hold this defense pretty strong, getting that Rainmaker pop of their own, and opting to hopefully get that out of there pretty soon and make sure no one in teal is going to be sneaking past them to put that in the checkpoint, especially when they have a brush acting. Well, little brush and spawn.
Yeah, Kenji attempted to jump down and get that picked, but is ultimately shut down. But in the midst of this chaos, Misguided Knights does get 3 down. It does go down 3. Star Guardians of Chaos now looking to try and get things going once again, opting the right route this time around to try and get those fast and easy points, but the checkpoint still needs to be broken, and they did break through at the very least.
It is broken. That checkpoint is very much broken. You said it still needs to be broken.
And you heard what I said. They got that at least.
That's amazing. Conflicting words, Art. How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, we got a job to do.
Oh, right, we have a job to do. But that being said, the Rainmaker does remain in Star Guardians of Chaos' lead, and they're able to get nice to down in the end off of that. We gotta get these moving. We gotta get these moving. Give a bit of it, I said.
Yeah. Oh man, and this is actually looking kind of dangerous for Misguided Knights. Star Guardians of Chaos able to pick up the Rainmaker and really put in a lot of points on their side and keep the momentum going on their side. The only player that was actually lost was the Rainmaker carrier, Kenji, here looking to try and be a harassing player here to pull some attention, divert some of that attention away from the Rainmaker. But I think it's a bit of a futile effort there because there really isn't a lot of space for them to move past at that point. And I think Star Guardians of Chaos recognized that, chose to just leave the Rainmaker with Misguided Knights and try and see how they want to play this re-engagement from them.
And playing this nice and slow is never a bad idea either. Slowly getting the space taken. That brush is, causing a little mayhem. So it looks like some plans are being delayed. As the brush alone took 2 people down, 3 people, I guess. Who's letting the 4 people? Oh my God, that's so rough.
That could have been such a huge swing for Kenji there to keep things under control for Star Guardians and Chaos. Misguided Knights is still managing to keep their cool here in mid. 2 minutes remaining on this map here. There's about a 42-point differential between these two teams, so it's a bit of a big mountain to climb for Misguided Knights if you want to try and close that gap there. But it is not impossible. That the points can be bought really fast here, depending on which routes you go. And looking for the opener to get that checkpoint out of the way, at the very least, Misguided Knights takes the left route immediately.
Yeah, and you can see just the members of Star Guardians to Chaos rushing towards that side, able to win the Rainmaker pop and take off one of the members of Misguided Knights while they're at it. But I like this, using the ink route to get themselves closer to their goal points. But the thing is, Star Guardians of Chaos can play this however they want. They have the lead and they have enough space to see it forward. But just as I say that, they are wiping out, giving Misguided Knights the opportunity to actually get a bunch of points on their own if they can sustain the momentum and the space that they just got.
Ooh, trying to meet the incoming Rainmaker. Star Guardians and Chaos manages to hold the front line, pushes the Rainmaker back and back for Kenji to come in, swoop in, get the splat, and stop that push there. And now there's only 1 minute remaining on this game for it's 1-1 on each side. So this is definitely when things are definitely gonna start heating up here.
Yeah, the stakes are incredibly high for these teams, especially for those that want to make it to the alpha bracket tomorrow. I think a lot of teams are looking in Misguided Knights' favor. You know, not Misguided Knights, excuse me, sorry. Star Guardians of Chaos' favor. You know, they're still able to have a pretty solid hold of the map, and even when it comes down to the defense, as we saw the last couple of times, Misguided Knights weren't really able to completely push past Star Guardians of Chaos. So I still believe this match is in their favor, unless Misguided Knights wants to prove me wrong right now.
Yeah, no, Star Guardians of Chaos knows the win condition that Misguided Knights wants to go here. They're looking to try and play it slow and steady, not lose too many players in these last few seconds where those players lost could be crucial there. Kenji coming in, the loop around with a heavy splatling, gets the pick, and I do believe that's going to seal the deal for Star Guardians of Chaos being able to win this third game over Misguided Knights.
I can also mention Kenji really going for that crab. But Will was out for blood. Like, bro was seeing red. Like, the game is yours already, and you already want another pick. Bro said, I want to pat my stats. That's insane work. But no, yeah, Star Guardians of Chaos are going to be taking home this set in a 2-1 fashion. Beautiful, reverse sweep, I would say.
Yeah, it was a very good a very good viewing of Star Guardians of Chaos being able to adjust from Misguided Knights from that first game. Even some of them in that second game as well, being able to recognize what they're doing and just employ those strategies here for this third game. But man, it was still a very fun set to watch nonetheless. Both these teams did a very incredible job, and I am eager to see exactly how things pan out for their third and final round coming up here shortly.